Welcome to the Temple of Flame. On today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Jamaica, it is the Walkerswood Plenty Hot, which is a new heat categorization just dropped right here. This is the Fire Stick Pepper Sauce. So we've got some, looks like maybe a red jalapeno, possibly a cayenne. A Scotch bonnet, maybe a habanero as well. We'll see. The saying goes, old fire stick is easy to catch. Once you have enough flame in your heart, it is easy to rekindle. This sauce should warm up all kinds of things. Go easy, shake well. Get out. Get out. That's funny. All right, so we have hot peppers, so they're not defined. I couldn't find for sure what they are. There's a lot of interesting pepper direction going on in this sauce. So I will probably speculate. Given that it's Jamaican, I'm guessing maybe a Scotch bonnet or habanero is in there as well. Possibly cayenne, and maybe a red jalapeno. Possibly even, well, I guess there's a flavor that reminds me a bit of red bell, but I don't know. You wouldn't put that in hot peppers, certainly. So we've got here water, vinegar, brown sugar, salt, modified cornstarch, xanthan gum, ascorbic acid, garlic powder, onion powder, and potassium sorbate. So there's a lot of emulsifier type chemical things in here, which is interesting. A lot of that's, preservatives for shelf life and stuff. This is a 100 milliliter bottle, so slightly over 3 ounces, and I have found it enjoyable, to say the least. I wish this came. I got to try to find this in a bigger bottle. I really do like this sauce quite a bit. I don't really like the consistency, however. Which is that sort of gloppy. It's not as bad as like some of the banana pepper stuff, but cornstarch and xanthan gum, and you get a little bit of the jiggle there. Not too bad though. See, there's a lot of pepper bits in here as well. Very nice red orangey sort of coloration to it. I think it's a quite pretty sauce. Yeah, let's just get into it. There's a lot of pieces in there. It's a little bit grainy, actually. I think cayenne is one of the peppers. I think possibly red jalapeno as well. And then, I don't know that, I'm sure there's either Scotch bonnet or habanero. So I think this is a combination of peppers. Heat-wise, it's definitely more than you would normally get from, I think, a straight cayenne, and certainly more than a red jalapeno. The pepper flavor is really, really pronounced here. It's quite good. And then it's rounded out a little bit by the garlic and onion powder there as well. Super well done sauce. I really like this one quite a bit. It's unfortunately just a tad expensive for what you get. Like this bottle, I think was $7 or $8 on Amazon, and so we're just going to round to 4 ounces. But it's, I mean, that's maybe not fair. It's probably a little bit under $2 an ounce, and I like it. I just don't like it that much. So I am going to try to find a bigger bottle, or maybe multiple bottles, because the flavor of this is super, super good. Sometimes when you get the red peppers in particular, you get a sort of depth of flavor that is reminiscent of like that sort of richness of tomato would give you. This reminds me of that. It is super good. It is not particularly astringent, which is interesting because it is more in line with flavor-wise with a cayenne or a Cajun-style sauce. I mean, it is definitely Caribbean though, and Caribbean is similar to those, but has its own distinctiveness as well. So we're having it here just on some chicken tendies. One of the many applications I like to have a little Louisiana style or Cajun or more vinegar forward sauce for it. This one is honestly not quite vinegar forward enough for this though. Very tasty sauce. I really love the flavor of this. And I want to try to get more just so that I can play around with it. We're getting to the point where it's a little too warm for me to consider turning on the oven, but I might try to track down a pizza just because I'm really curious to see if, usually I wouldn't put the more astringent Louisiana styles on a pizza, but this one I think is kind of on that border where I don't think it actually is vinegar forward enough for me for that to be an issue. Yeah, super nice flavor here. Very, very accessible. I don't think it's particularly hot though. I was actually hoping for more heat here than what's here. It's a good solid one, but not more than that. Super, super good tasting though. I like this quite a bit. So, having said that, I would say it is somewhat overpriced for this style of sauce, though. When you can get a good quality cayenne sauce, Louisiana style, for, you know, you can get sometimes a 10-ounce bottle for like $3, $3 or $4. Is this better than that? Yeah, flavor-wise, yes, it is better. Is it that much better? No. You know, a lot of the sauces I have will sometimes go past $2 a fluid ounce. But for different reasons, you don't wind up generally using as much of that sauce. This one, so 3.4 fluid ounces, I am probably already past the halfway point for this sauce. And so I've got one, maybe two more uses of this, and this bottle is gone. And I probably will get more of it if I can find it at a more reasonable price. But that is, it just sort of makes it a bit of a challenge to continue to want to use a sauce, even if it's a really good sauce, when you start looking at the price point for that. You know, this one I've used 2 or 3 times, and like I said, it's half gone at this point. And certainly very delicious. This will go very nicely anywhere that you would use a Louisiana style or a Cajun, or, I mean, it is a Caribbean sauce. But I consider the usages for those types of sauce a bit more similar than not. So, you know, breakfast foods, that type of thing, I think it works very well there. Also, that's where this would fit in nicely. I am really curious to try it on pizza, though, because I think it actually might work well there, but I don't like really vinegary sauces on my pizza. It's a very, very fine line with me. And this one, I just am not sure if it actually goes over the line or not. So I might just have to break down and go get a pizza just so I can try that. I haven't tried it yet as of this filming, but this is one that I had to push way, way up in the schedule because I wanted to make sure there was enough sauce to actually shoot this video. And that might be the only thing I actually get to try with this next, actually, is a pizza, because I do want to save this for the Q2 wing thing as well, because I think it will make an outstanding wing sauce, and I'm really curious to try that. So I'm pushing this little 3.4 ounce bottle pretty much as hard as it can go. And they say just a dash, which is silly. It's not hot enough for that. Gotta love marketing. So, but yeah, it is an extremely delicious sauce. So I think anybody that tries this, especially if they like heat at any level, is going to be very hard pressed to use just a dash, because this sauce, it sort of bears using more of it. It is delicious. It is not burn your face off hot or anything like that. And if you're a fan of the Louisiana style or the Cajun or Caribbean sauces generally, absolutely, you should go and try to find you a bottle of this. Well worth it. At least once. So, well, we'll leave it right there. That is the Walkerswood Fire Stick Pepper Sauce. Now go forward in peace to serve the flame.